Congratulations on completing your first Java application. Now that we know how to create our first Java application, let us now play with our application and explore more. So inside our IntelliJ IDE, the window that you can see here actually contains the code of main.java. Now within this file at the top you can notice I have a statement package space com.internshala.java app. Now if you notice this package name is the same that we created here. The purpose of writing the package com.internshala.java app states that the main.java file is actually present within this package that is here. So whatever file that we will create in future within this package, it will have the declaration of the package name at the top that we are having here currently. Now if I try to change this package name here, it will show the error because this is not the correct package name. We have to define the same package name that is mentioned here. Now after this, the first code that we can see is public class main. Whenever we create a Java file like we have created main.java, so each of the Java file contains a class. Now what is a class? We will talk about class in our upcoming module in a lot more detail. As of now, just remember, whatever code that we write, we actually write within the class. So here the main is our class and the code that we have written, we have to write it within the curly bracket open and this curly bracket close. So whatever code that we have to write within these two parentheses. Now within the class main, we have some further code. Public static void main and some string arguments. And then again I have bracket open and bracket close where we wrote our first code. So this block of code is actually known as methods or functions in Java. So here this small main is acting as a method or function. So within the curly bracket open and close, whatever code that we write will be the part of this method or function. And again, we will talk about the method and function in Java in a lot more detail in our upcoming videos. So currently, let us dive deeper into it. So inside this method, we have some code. Now, if you notice, I told you these two lines of code, this is my first code and again this is my first code. It is actually ignored by Java while running the program. So these two lines of code, as I told you, is the informal code that is for our personal use. These two are actually known as comments in Java. So the comment is something for our personal use. Now after this comes the Java code that we have written here. And each of the Java code is terminated with the help of a semicolon at the end that you can see here. Whatever code that we write in Java, make sure always terminate it with the help of a semicolon. Now that we know this is a class, this is a method, and this is our code, so let us play around with our first Java application that says Hello Internshala. Let us now remove this comment. And now down the side, let us write one more statement, such as a print statement, system. Now whenever we type something inside the IntelliJ IDE, you can see the possible code that we can write sys, then system, system color, system tray and so on. You can use any of them. The IntelliJ IDE gives you a hint what code that you need to write. So here I will simply select system followed by dot. Then again it shows you the best possible option. The first one is the out that we are about to write. So let us click on it, out, then again dot, and again it shows print. Let us select it, and now within the print, let us type Hello Internshala again. Let us now run the code by clicking on this icon. So here if you notice, we have got the output as Hello Internshala and then Hello Internshala again. But if you notice, there is no space between these two statements. What happens is that when we run the code, the Java thinks that we have to print this and soon after this I have to print this statement. Now in order to break it into two statements, for that we have a special code. So instead of print, we have to use println. Now we read it as print line. So whenever we write print line, it actually appends a new line character after the hello intern Shala. Let us now run the code. So here we have hello intern Shala and hello intern Shala again in two statement. So soon after the first output hello intern Shala, we got a new line. That makes the hello intern Shala get printed in the new line. And now let us explore more. Let us try to add some space here. Let us try to print it. And again we get the same output. We have not got any space just before the second statement. This is simply because whatever we have got inside the double quote is actually printed by Java. So we have to give space within the double quote and remove the space here which does not matter. Let us now run the code. And now in the output you can see the space are now the part of the output followed by hello intern Shala again. And even if you give the space here after the double quote, it won't be considered. So always remember, whatever you type within the double quote is actually treated as a statement. Now if I remove the whole statement along with the quote, let us remove it and try to type a number, let's say 9. And let us run it and let's see what happens. And here we get 9 in the output, which simply shows that you can type a number within this print. And if I type, let's say 80, let's run it, it will simply print 80 in the output console. Now, if I try to perform some mathematical calculation, let's say 80 minus, let's say 1. So let's see what happens this time. So here we go, it says 79. It has actually interpreted this statement as a mathematical equation. 80 minus 1 is 79. So here we get 79 in the output console. Now let us try to explore more and type 80 multiplied by, let's say, 9. And let's run it. Here we get 720, which you will get when you multiply 80 into 9. Let us divide it by, let's say, 10. And I should get 8 in the output. And yes, here we get 8. So you can perform addition, multiplication and division. Now suppose you want to print 80 divided by 10 in the output. You don't want the Java to interpret it as a mathematical equation. So for that again use the double quote open and then double quote closed. So whatever you have write inside the double quote will be treated as a text, similar to the hello intern Shala which is being treated as a text. Let us now run it. And here we get 80 divided by 10 as a text. So always remember this is a text, and in case if I remove the double quote, it will now become a mathematical equation that consists of two numbers. And if I remove everything, then it is just a number that we want to print it out in the output console. Well, this is all for our first Java program. Well, now that we have created our first Java application, so in the next video, let us explore how does a Java code runs internally.